What's up, everybody? Ben here with Fly Plugins, and today I'm going to demonstrate one of our newest features that we've added to WP Courseware, and we're very excited about this feature because it's simply one of the most requested features that we've had. And so the feature that I'm going to demonstrate is the instructor role feature. So in our most recent version, WP Courseware 4.0, we released the instructor role, which allows administrators to assign an instructor role to a user so that that particular user can create courses without seeing the entire back end of WordPress. And so let's go ahead and get started and let's demonstrate how this works. So here I'm running the latest version of WordPress, and as you can see, I've got WP Courseware 4.0.1, which actually instructor role was released in 4.0. So make sure you have that version of WP Courseware, otherwise you will not have the instructor role. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go over to the users area, and we're going to add a new user. And we're just going to call this one Instructor 1. By the way, I don't recommend using passwords like this. This is a local development server, so it's okay for this. But if you'll notice right here where we set up the role, or we set the role for the user, WordPress by default has 6 roles, except you won't see one of them on this particular installation because I'm not using multi-site. One of the roles that is specific to multi-site is the super admin. But you'll see we have administrator, editor, author, contributor, and subscriber, which are all default to WordPress. And so you'll notice there's a new one in here called Instructor. Now, Instructor is particularly for WP Courseware. So we're going to go ahead and add this new user. And you'll notice here we've got him set to the instructor role. Okay. So now what we can do is we can actually come into a different separate browser, and we can actually log in as Instructor 1. So let's go and do that. Let's pop open Firefox. Okay, so let's go ahead and type in the username. And the super secret password. Okay, so now we are actually in the back end of WordPress here. And you'll notice that we don't see all the menus that you would normally see as an administrator, which is a good thing. Because you might want to allow somebody to create courses on your website without having full-blown access to the back end of WordPress. So basically what you have here, we've got these particular menu items. And I'm just going to go over a couple of these, and we're actually going to create a course here because I want to demonstrate in a little bit more detail how this works. But you'll notice right off the bat that you have access to the media library. And you might be thinking, why is that? Well, if you remember, when you create quizzes, you have the ability to add images or pictures to your quizzes, and you also have the ability to add pictures into your course units. So when we designed the instructor role, we felt it was necessary to have access to the media library. And what's cool about this is you can actually add images, but you don't have the ability to delete. So only the administrator can delete those. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the next one. And the next menu item here is users. And you might be thinking, well, why would you give access to the users? Well, there's a very specific reason. And the reason is an instructor should have the ability to enroll a student. So what we did with the user section is we allowed the instructors to have the ability to add new users. However, you'll notice if I hover over instructor, you don't see the option to delete. So an instructor can create users and they can enroll them into their courses, but they cannot delete the actual user. So if you notice, you can click the button over here, update access permission, update user access permissions, and you'll notice there's not any courses listed. Obviously, we have not created one. However, that just goes to show that you can actually enroll students. Now, there's a caveat to that. You can only enroll a student into a course that you've created. So if you're the instructor and you create, say, 2 courses, you only have the ability to enroll students into those 2 courses, and that's it. Okay, so now if we go down to training courses, you'll notice we've got all these admin pages that you can access. You have the ability to add courses, modules, surveys. You can open up the question pool and add questions. You have the import export option, which actually is just only the ability to export a course. And then obviously you can open up the documentation page. And for the course units, you can add units and delete units, etc. So let's go ahead and just create a course here with our new instructor role. And we won't get too detailed here. We're just going to create a basic course. Now, while I'm here in the course details, I want to point out something really quick. If you'll notice over here on the left-hand side, you don't see the certificates menu item over here any longer. And that's because we've actually moved the certificates into the course settings, which allows you to actually set certificates on a per course basis, something that we've also had several people ask about. We've had numerous feature requests to have the ability to create certificates that are particular to a specific course so that they can adjust the background, etc., for a particular course. So yeah, you can now set certificates on a per course basis. And so we'll just save all our details here. We're going to go ahead and create a module. Now you'll notice I'm adding the instructor 1. I'm appending it here at the end with by instructor 1. And that's just because I'm trying to demonstrate what this instructor can see versus what another instructor can see versus what an admin can see. And then we're going to sum it up also by showing what a student will see if they are enrolled into a course by one particular instructor and into another course by another separate instructor. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we created our module. So now we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and just add a quiz quickly. And it doesn't even matter what kind of quiz. So this is quiz 1 by instructor 1. Okay, and we're going to add a quick question to this. I'm just going to add a true or false question. Okay, and I'm going to add a tag here, and we're going to call this the instructor 1 tag. Okay, and obviously you're not going to be appending everything with instructor 1. Again, this is just for this particular demonstration. Okay, so now we've got a quiz, we got a module, a training course, and lastly, we're going to just create a new course unit. And now that we've got all our components, let's go ahead and let's put our course together. So we're going to drag our course unit and our quiz right on top of that. Okay, great. So now we are all set. Now what I want to demonstrate is I want to demonstrate what the administrator can see. So we're going to go back over to our initial browser. And here I'm logged in as the administrator. And if I go down to training courses, you're going to notice I've got course A by admin, which is a course I created before creating this video. And you're going to notice I have course 1 by instructor 1, which is the course we just created right now. So the administrator has the ability to see everything. Okay. And if we look, we obviously see the modules. If we go into the quiz summary page, you'll notice we see that the quiz we just created by the instructor. If we go into the question pool, you'll notice there's our question with the instructor 1 tag. Okay, so now that we've seen what the instructor can actually do, let's go ahead and create one more instructor. So we're going to add new user, and we're just going to call him instructor 2. Okay. And we are going to go ahead and create him as an instructor. Okay, so now we've got instructor 1, instructor 2. And so now what I want to do is go ahead and swap back over to our browser here, and I'm going to log out as instructor 1, and we're going to log in as instructor 2. Okay, and again, you see the same exact menu items, but now if we click over to training courses, you'll notice we don't see any training courses whatsoever. If we go to our quiz summary, there are no quizzes listed. There are no questions in the question pool. And if we look at course units, there are no course units. Okay, so now you understand that instructors cannot see each other's information, yet the administrator has the ability to see everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a course here really quick with this second instructor. And again, we're going to go ahead and just add a module here. Pop it in here. And we'll go ahead and add a quiz. Go ahead and add a question. And we'll go ahead and give it a quick tag. Okay. And lastly, let's create a unit. And let's go ahead and put this course together. Okay, so now we've got two instructors that have each created a course. And so let's go ahead and go back to our administrative panel in WordPress in our other browser. And you'll notice we've got 3 courses set here. And if we look at the quiz summary, we should have 2 quizzes now. Question pool should have two questions. And so now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and just demonstrate what it would be like if we were to create a student and have that student log in and what they would actually see. The way I want to do this is I want to first go and create a page. And we'll just call this My Courses. I'm just going to simply add the WP Course Progress shortcode. Okay. And next, I'm going to go ahead and add a student. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and add a student by enrolling them, having them enroll via the instructor. So we're going to go ahead and go over to our other browser where we have instructor 2 logged in. And we're going to go ahead and go over to our users area. What I want to do is just create a new user called student. Okay. And we'll use our super secret password. And we're going to add our new student. And so you'll notice the student got enrolled into course 1 by instructor 2 because that's the only course. You'll notice if I actually go to the update user course access permission page, you'll notice that's the only course available. And we did have it set to automatically enroll. So that is why he was actually automatically enrolled into that course. If we go ahead and just, let's go over to our third browser and we're going to log in as our student. and we're going to go to the My Courses page. Okay, so you'll notice that I've got 3 courses as this particular student. And you might be asking, why is that? Okay, so if we remember, we had a course by default from the administrator, which was set to automatic enrollment, which they did get enrolled into. Then we created the user as the instructor 2, which also got automatically enrolled into course 1 by instructor 2 because of automatic enrollment. However, what also happened in the background is they got enrolled into course 1 by instructor 1 because of automatic enrollment as well. However, if we go back to our Firefox browser, you'll notice that student is only showing 1 course here. And why is that? Well, that's because this instructor created this particular course and only can see any information regarding this particular course. And if we go back over to our other browser where we're logged in as the administrator, you'll notice he has the ability to see all courses and all data. So now you can see that he's actually enrolled into all 3 in this particular screen here. So the instructors can see anything in the context of what they have created. They cannot see anything outside of that. And the administrator can see everything. So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's a feature that you guys can get excited about. I know I'm excited about it. It's, as I mentioned before, been on our radar for quite some time, and we are super excited to finally be able to release it. We're going to go ahead and conclude this video tutorial, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.